Hey everyone, happy Thursday. Student meteorologist Ariana Whittick here with your Thursday edition of FSU weather. So let's get right on into it. And you see Doak Campbell Stadium behind me with some sunny skies right now. Temperatures are in the upper 80s. A nice warm day outside, sunny skies. I kind of love it though. With temperatures across the Big Bend region, we're seeing temperatures in the 80s. Look at Monticello as our hot point at 88 degrees, but you can see the sea breeze cooling things off closer to the coast. And as we look on the radar right now, you can see this green area right here. That's actually not rain. That's a forest fire being shown on the radar right now. So that's a little fun fact for today. And so for our headlines tonight, we're going to see some warm and dry end to the week in Tally, but we're going to see some storms rolling in for Earth Day, and then we're going to be tracking some severe weather in the plains and southeast. And then what is that smell? That is right, a seaweed plume is coming to the coast of Florida. All that and more on FSU weather.
Thank you, Ariana, and we have a busy show tonight. We have some pretty warm conditions today, but we're going to have a pretty active weather pattern that we're going to talk about over the next week.
That's right. We have multiple chances of showers and storms as these systems one by one come after one another here across the southeast. But what's one thing we're also going to talk about here on the show, Nico?
We're going to talk about a lot of stuff, including the seaweed. We're going to talk about some snow in the north, and we have a lot of stuff to talk about tonight.
It's going to what's that seaweed called?
Sargasm.
Sargasm, okay.
Which is a pretty funny name.
Try saying that 10 times.
You would get tongue-tied if you say that 10 times, and that'd be pretty funny to see. But I'm not going to try to say that many times. But that will be an interesting segment to talk about. I don't know much about that yet.
Right, I am looking forward to that too, because I mean we've seen it in the news as well with that large plume of just seaweed, sargassum, moving from Africa to the Gulf of Mexico, and perhaps it could affect your travel plans if you're heading out to the beach this weekend.
Yeah, that's right. If you go out to the beach, you may see a lot of that seaweed out there. So you definitely have to be careful if you're going out on the beach. You don't want to get that all wrapped around your legs. It's not going to feel great. You already know that.
That's right. But on a more lighter note, it looks like weather should cooperate at least into this weekend, although there might perhaps be a chance of a shower or two as an approaching cold front does bring the chance of, a few isolated showers, and make sure to have that umbrella in case you are heading outside.
Yeah, that's true, particularly as we head into Saturday. Sunday looks like it should be a nice day, but if you want to go to the beach on Saturday, bring an umbrella, and if you see any lightning, definitely head off the beach. You don't want to get hit by lightning on the beach.
I really hope not. But on a more lighter note, we'll turn things over to Jason with a live look at that really nice sunset. How does it look over there over Doak, Jason?
Looks beautiful right now. As you can see, the giant sun right over Doak Campbell Stadium, literally right over. So that sunset will go right over Doak Campbell Stadium right there. It'll be a beautiful sunset. You can see like literally through it. It's probably even top of the parking garage. That's what I like doing to see sunset. It'll be 87 though, very, very hot for this time of year. Sunny, 10-mile-an-hour winds. Really not going to be cooling us off too much. Yeah, let's now see. It's a lot more hotter than average. Like I was saying before, 81 is our average. 88. That's extremely hot today. I did not like it. I literally sweated just from walking from my car to the studio. I hate that. I do not want to be in the heat as much anymore, but it's Florida. We gotta love it. But 87, like I was saying before, for Tallahassee. Then our area is maybe a little cooler near Valdosta and Thomasville, but near our coast, it's maybe even a little cooler too due to the sea breeze. Looking at the dew points, though, it's actually not as muggy as we are really used to. It's 51-degree dew point in Tallahassee. That's really nice. And even down by the coast, it's really nice there too. In Perry, it's 56 too. And yeah, let's zoom back out again. And you can see that front right there causing lots of havoc all over the southeast. But then as we zoom into Tallahassee, basically, we just have nothing. We just have that. You can see those clouds right there. That's actually a fire. It actually produced a pyrocumulus cloud, which is really cool to see in a clear day. And you can see that sea breeze just move up through Tallahassee. That's why we're seeing maybe a little colder temperatures near the coast because of that sea breeze, that southerly wind. Futurecast showing us actually the temperature and this. I really like this feature because we can see that. But as we look on Friday, it's going to be maybe a little chilly on Friday morning. And then Saturday, we can see that rain start to move in 3 a.m. on Saturday. So if you're awake, maybe you get another test alert, then you'll be awake for that. And as we go along with our day on Saturday, that will kind of dissipate and just be a nice, maybe day, 82 in Tallahassee then. Rainfall forecast showing us basically what I was saying before. Saturday it's going to be wet, mostly to our west though, so not completely get too much of it. I really don't think we're going to get 17 inches. We might 17.17 inches. I think we're going to get a lot less than that. Looking at the forecast for tonight though, 59 in Tallahassee, then around our area, just similar temperatures throughout. Dog walk forecast, like I was saying before, a little bit chilly, 59, that's a little bit chilly-ish. And then 11 a.m., probably the best time to walk your dog for that time. Tomorrow, though, that's when it's going to be heating up. Maybe not as much as it did today, 88. It might, though, because 85 tomorrow in Tallahassee. And then our area, maybe a little cooler. Wow, 77 near the coast. And as we look at the week ahead, it's going to be a very nice day, except Saturday, that early storms on Saturday. And then next week, it's going to see lots of more storms. But now I'm actually going to send it off to Genevieve. Sorry, man.
Yeah, Jason, I know. I've known you for how long now? Why are you forgetting my name? We do this, we've been doing this for years, not months, years. Yeah, we're going to be talking about Florida today. And Jason, I do want to throw a little more banter at you, saying you're kind of sick of the hot temperatures. Well, guess what? Summer's on its way, so I'm not sure why you're saying that. Currently, we're seeing those summer temperatures throughout the state of Florida going into the lower 80 degrees. I know down in South Florida, you are getting quite warm. And the reason we have these warm and really nice conditions, I would say nice, maybe Jason wouldn't, but currently the radar is dry, is because we have that high pressure system located just above us in Florida and overall throughout the southeast. And further away from the southeast into the Mississippi Valley is where you get that severe weather, where they have that lower pressure system located. But let's head down south to my wonderful South Florida. Currently, Miami, for once, you're not having your nighttime evening showers, but instead on the western side, that's where things are getting a little spooky. A little more rain, you want to carry an umbrella, and if you are on your commute back home from work, please turn around, don't drown if you see a highly flooded area. Orlando area, Central Florida, you are looking quite beautiful, great evening to be walking around Disney Springs, downtown Disney, anywhere, Universal, really great. If you can withstand the prices. I know they sometimes get a little crazy, for me at least. Up in the Big Bend region and the Panhandle of Florida, we're looking quite nice, but that will soon change as we get into Saturday morning, the early hours, where we're really going to be seeing some rain. The state of Florida currently, you see we're in that red. We're really quite warm, but overall, the CPC has shown Florida for the past 8 days, I believe, to trend more cooler than average, that we're more cooler temperatures than what we normally see. Drought monitor down by Tampa, where Jason's from. That's so funny. I'm coming at him again. You're looking like you're in quite a drought, but notice down there, down south in Fort Lauderdale, you are seeing no drought, and that is because of those 25 inches of rain you saw just the other week. Future radar going through Friday and into the weekend, you'll see those streams go through the central part of the whole peninsula and dissipate out into the weekend. You'll see those rain totals get up to almost two-thirds of an inch in Fort Myers. So really, turn around, don't drown. I know it's not too much, but overall, it is rain. We do want you to be safe. Miami, Thursday, is a night for going to the museum, Perez Art Museum, I would suggest. Really nice night for that. Tampa, I know your Lightning game is not located there. It's in Canada, but I don't predict the forecast for that. Orlando, currently, tomorrow it will be raining. Jacksonville, you're looking nice on Saturday to get to the beach. Friday in Pensacola, it will be rainy. Any other rain we're seeing in the southeast currently, Priscilla?
You know, not right now. We're not seeing anything on our cameras currently. It's pretty warm, but we are going to be seeing some rain pretty soon. Our temperatures are sitting around the mid-80s, so it is summer has already. I hope you're ready for it, because I'm not. So if someone is, that would be great. Again, as I said, we're seeing mid-80s throughout the southeast, slightly cooler temperatures around Shreveport and Little Rock, but we are seeing no relief throughout the rest of the southeast. As for our dew points currently, things are sitting a little moderate. It's been a little dry recently. Mostly we're seeing around 40s, 50s, 60s dew points, but it's not offering still too much. very dry and stagnant and really just not pleasant, that's for sure. But as Genevieve was saying, this is the rain we're going to start to see. We've got that frontal system that's currently in Texas and Oklahoma, and it is going to push its way forward. As for our upper level water vapor, that's going to make its way forward as well. That's where we're seeing a lot of the moisture in the upper atmosphere, and it just continues to develop and strengthen throughout the next couple of days. The southern regions, we're seeing that dry air push its way. Future radar, boom, that's that front, spot the cold front. It's going to move its way throughout the weekend, Friday, boom, and it's going to make its way and produce some cloud cover as well. So maybe that will offer some relief for the heat as well, cooling things down a bit. I know that's all I can hope for. Really not much we can do this time of year. We get a couple rain every couple of weeks, that's going to pick up. What can you do? Rainfall totals are going to peak really around Memphis and Jackson, near 3.5 inches. So again, turn around, don't drown if you do see those heavily flooded roads, and just be very aware of low-lying areas because those can accumulate lots more rain. As for the rest of the southeast, not experiencing as higher rainfall totals, seeing up to 1/2 inch at most in Tallahassee and lesser than in the rest of Florida. As for tonight's forecast, 59 degrees here in Tallahassee, pretty moderate, a little warmer to the west. Shreveport 65, New Orleans 68. But tomorrow, it's just going to heat up once again, seeing mid-80s, and it's just not going to get any better than that. But Aaron, tell me more about that severe weather.
That's right. So in the southeast, we also do have the risk of severe weather with that next system coming into the area, as I zoom a little bit down here. So across our severe weather cameras, so College Station, Dallas, as well as Austin and Monroe, Louisiana, all sitting down in the upper 70s to low 80s or so with that cloud cover coming into the area because of that cold front, bringing in that moisture aloft there. So overall, not a great setup in terms of the weather here. And that stretches that slight risk from about southwest or southeastern Wisconsin all the way down through Peoria, St. Louis, Paducah, down through about Houston and Austin or so with that chance of severe weather. And now, what is going to be included with that severe weather chance? Now, we do have to look at wind here first. So wind, we have about a 10%, or I should say 15% chance of seeing some damaging wind, which is about winds above 60 miles per hour as a criteria by the National Weather Service here. From about southeastern, as well as southeastern Wisconsin down through most of the nation's heartland through the western Gulf Coast there. Hail is also a factor too, especially if you're down to our friends there in Houston, Shreveport, over towards Austin, with the possibility of seeing some of that more large isolated hail. So do make sure you watch that out and stay indoors because you don't want to be outside caught in a hailstorm. Now, for current active alerts, we have the severe thunderstorm watches in effect until 9 p.m. Central Daylight Time here from about St. Louis through also central Texas there. And we also have a tornado watch as well for portions of around Chicago area. So if you're in the Chicago metro area driving around right now, it might be best to perhaps start looking for a place to go this evening, just in case if you do issue any tornado warnings, as we've seen several severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings as well that across much of the Midwest. Now here is our satellite in radar. It's showing all of those alerts there with that radar on top of that. So if you're in Dallas here, we have those scattered showers starting to fire off and pop out right here. That kind of extends all the way up through about the Midwest there with, again, the chances of that severe weather this evening. And where you see all the severe thunderstorm watches, again, treat it like a tornado watch. Or I should say, treat a severe thunderstorm warning like a severe thunderstorm warning because, of course, you want to go to the interior portion of that room. You want to stay away from the windows and exterior walls. So zooming in a bit closer here to Illinois, we have a few discrete cells here. Some of them looks like they're trying to hook up a little bit there. Just off to the west of Chicago, severe thunderstorm warning in effect here for DeKalb, LaSalle, and Lee counties there. Radar indicated, which means that velocity has shown those elevated winds there, or potentially the correlation coefficient has showed the indication of perhaps some hail as well. This extends to about Thursday at, I believe 6 p.m. there. Zooming in a bit further off to the south there towards our good friends in the great state of Texas, we have a tornado warning here just northeast of Austin, Texas, around the Waco area. So here we have a tornado warning in effect for Bell and Falls County, radar indicated as well, which means they've seen some velocity. They've seen a couplet, is what we call it here in the meteorology world. And what that indicates is any type of rotation that could be happening, and that potentially could be a tornado on the ground. So again, if you're anywhere within this area, so just off to, if you're just off to the east there of Interstate 35 there in Central Texas, make sure you do take that shelter. Go to a sturdy shelter as well. So mobile home is does not cut it for safety, at least shelter safety. So this is part of the reason why we have actually those severe thunderstorms are going to continue over the next several hours or so. We have CAPE, or we have that convection potential for the energy there that extends along the Mississippi River for about, again, Indiana through about Houston, with the chance of that severe weather. What's going to happen is it's going to allow these towers to just start popping up and forming here over the next several hours or so. And then as we get throughout the nighttime and after the sun sets, that chance of at least the newer thunderstorms will begin to subside. So here is our weather safety prep here. Make sure you do have that battery-powered radio, flashlights as well, because there could be some power outages. Helmets as well, but again, don't go outside in the hail. And copy of emergency and communication plans. But now we're going to turn things over to Jason and Priscilla at the desk to talk more about sargasm.
Thanks, Aaron. Yeah, so sargasm is really something that we really, it's really important for, especially this time of year in Florida, because there's actually like a giant bloom that's going to be like moving towards Florida, even in the Gulf, maybe in Texas too. Anywhere in the Gulf Coast is going to be affected by this. But what sargasm actually is just a giant collection of seaweed, dead seaweed, and it can accumulate on beaches as it moves across the Atlantic.
Yeah, and of course, and as it starts decaying, it can start emitting a rotten stench, which can really sour your beach day. So especially as we get further into, you know, the spring and summer, everyone wants to go to the beach, but it might rotten your beach day. And it can also cause respiratory issues, and it can irritate your skin if touched, but other than that, it's relatively harmless.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like looking at on my beach. It's a white, perfectly great day. You just see a giant like wall of sargasm, and it's just crazy. I mean, I can only imagine how it smells. I mean, because we have red tide here in the Gulf near St. Pete, and that smells really bad, but this probably smells similar or maybe even worse than that.
Have you ever seen small bouts of sargassum?
I have, not in this extent, because that's crazy. That's a lot, and I can't imagine going to the beach. You can't even get in the water in that point, because you have to basically walk over it, and you need your wire shoes for that, because you don't want to put your feet in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. And this one doesn't even look like Florida, but you guys get the picture. It's covering the entire coast. It's really pretty though. Man, I wish that was Florida.
Probably does not smell pretty though, that's
oh
for
yeah,
sure.
I know. And you probably don't even see that many people there either because of all that sargasm. It's definitely a lot, yeah.
Yeah, but in terms of like the beach, seaweed, you know, it's just there. It does its thing. You know, just to lighten things up, have you ever eaten those like seaweed snacks? What do you think about seaweed, Jason?
I have never eaten seaweed before, and I don't plan to. It's
Sushi?
No, not sushi. I prefer my fish cooked.
Okay, that's
yeah,
valid.
Yeah, it is. But I'm actually gonna do a completely different swing here because we're gonna actually talk up in the north where they're actually getting snow. Nico, how is that going?
Thank you, Jason and Priscilla. Yeah, that's interesting to learn about that, but we do have some winter storm warnings up in northern Minnesota. So if you have friends that live near the Canada border, it may be April 20th. They're still dealing with the potential snowstorm as they head into tonight. The winter doesn't end this early for these people because it's very cold up there, and you can see this is the same low pressure system that's creating the severe weather that's extending from central Wisconsin all the way down to southern Texas. The cold side of this weather system is producing the snowstorm over northern Minnesota, North Dakota, heading into Canada. But if you know people in northern Minnesota, especially the northeastern part, they're seeing really heavy snow. You can see with the dark blues and even some ice mixing in, which is always dangerous to drive on. So you don't want to be driving around in these conditions. If you know anyone in International Falls, they're about to get hit with the big band of snow. So they're the next town on the line to get hit with this snowstorm. As you look at your future radar, it continues to swirl around northern Minnesota, North Dakota, even parts of northern South Dakota, all the way into tomorrow morning. And that's just going to continue to accumulate, especially up here where they continue to have the swirl and the really heavy snow they're going to get the highest accumulations from this system. And you could see that on the map here too. Parts of northern Minnesota, all the way up to 6 inches of snow, 7 inches of snow in parts of northern North Dakota. So that's a little bit more than half a foot of snow. It's quite a bit of snow for this time of the year. It's almost May, and they're going to stay below freezing or right around it this whole time, which is going to be favorable for not only for the snow to fall, but also for the snow to not melt as we head into Saturday and it gets even colder across these areas. And it doesn't really warm up above freezing on Saturday or even into Sunday. So they're going to have to deal with this snow sticking to the ground for a while here. But now I'm going to pass things off to Genevieve.
Yeah, Nico, so snow, that's definitely something to look at if you're in the Midwest, and severe weather if you are also in the Midwest and going down to the Mississippi Valley. Now, something that we and everyone will be celebrating, especially here in Tallahassee, because later on into Saturday, we will have great conditions, is Earth Day. Earth Day is Saturday, and I'm very excited to be delivering this segment because I am the environmental science girl, normally the only one in the room, so I'm very happy that so far we've had that desk on Sargasm and now Earth Day. So Earth Day is Saturday, and believe it or not, it was not always around. It's only been around since 1970, actually, and it's generally just meant to demonstrate support to conserve our environment and help build a more sustainable future for our planet and really celebrate what Mother Nature has given us. Over 1 billion people, now the graphic says mobilize. I'm not exactly sure what our producer Evan was getting at with mobilize, but I would say that over 1 billion people across the world celebrate it every year, which is amazing. Everyone loves the outdoors, I know that. There are very few that don't, and why not have one day out of the year to really celebrate it? So we'll be celebrating it with some rain here in Tallahassee. This will clear out further into the night, so later on into the evening we'll have better conditions, but you are seeing those really kind of warm temperatures along with slightly lower rain chances into Saturday evening and the afternoon. Now there's an Earth Day plant swap at the co-op market, so please bring some plants. You can trade and have some really nice ones. Now here we'll see that rain pass through right into the early morning hours of Saturday and dissipate off, making for a much better Earth Day forecast for the rest of the weekend. And Earth Day forecast around the country, we're seeing those 80s here in Florida and really chilly into North Dakota, Minneapolis, Wisconsin, looking at 41. 41 is not what we're seeing here locally. Ariana?
For sure it is not. Temperature is close to 90 degrees. Yikes. Not my ideal day. Would love to be a little bit cooler, but you know, what was close to 90 also brought some sunny skies. And as we look around the Big Bend area, we can see those sunny skies across the board right now. And if you are headed out into College Town, those warm temperatures are going to persist as we head in through the night. By 2 a.m., we're going to see temperatures at 64 degrees, but hey, some good news, no rain, so it's a trade-off. Do you like the warmer temperatures or do you like the rain? I think I like sunny weather and cooler temperatures, but I guess that's getting a little bit greedy here. And for our backyard forecast in Tallahassee, we're going to see for tomorrow, temperatures are going to be 85 degrees, partly cloudy conditions with a nice southeast breeze at 11 miles per hour, so really going to bring that humidity back into the region. For Friday, though, at the beach in Panama City. I know I love Panama City. I have a condo out there. So temperatures are going to be in the upper 70s. Water temperatures are a little cool for me at 73 degrees. I think it's a little bit warmer than the springs here in Florida, but you never know. You know, it's still a little bit cold. But if you do go into that ocean, be cautious because there is a high risk of rip currents in that area. And for our active marine alerts, we can see where we do have the rip current statement for Bay County right now. So if you are out there and heading to go to the beach today or tomorrow, be cautious. Look out for rip currents and turn around and don't drown. Always be near a lifeguard station when you are at the beach. For Friday night baseball, can you believe it? We're back at home here in Tallahassee, and conditions are going to be nice to have a first pitch at 6 p.m. Temperature is going to be 81 degrees. I kind of love it. For softball, they are in Blacksburg, Virginia, and experiencing some cool temperatures by Sunday at the series end of the game. Baseball Saturday, maybe want to bring an umbrella, but I don't think that they should cancel the game, as we're going to see a 30% chance of storms from the beginning to the end. And as we look at our weekend planner, Earth Day, Saturday, maybe pack an umbrella or two. And we are going to talk about the local one last time with Nico.
Yes, thank you, Ariana. We are going to have one last local segment here, and we can see it's sunny this evening. We have clear skies heading into this evening, so the only problem with the clear skies is this is a little bit too hot for me in mid-April. 87 degrees at almost 6:30 in the evening. This is well above where we should be, and that wind out of the east is a pretty warm wind today because the sea breeze has not made it all the way out to Tallahassee. You could see 87 in Tallahassee, 87 in Monticello as well. The sea breeze hasn't made it very far inland today, unless you're right along the coast in Apalachicola. That's the only place with a more seasonable temperature right now. Everywhere else is in the mid to upper 80s, which is just a little bit warm for right now. But as you look at your radar, you can see there's a fire that's out here near the border of Wakulla and Leon County. I think this is a controlled burn. I hope it is. And then it looks like there might be another fire near Perry that's coming towards Tallahassee along the sea breeze getting blown in as well. And as we look at our future cast, we look at our future radar into tonight, we don't expect any fog, we don't expect any smoke in the Tallahassee area either. It's going to be a clear night, and it's going to get down to 59. So we should have a pretty nice night. But as we head into tomorrow, and then really as we head into Saturday morning, this is Saturday morning at 3 in the morning, so in the middle of the night, you may have a round of severe weather on Saturday, so we'll definitely need to pay attention to that. Then we clear up for a few days under warm conditions, but then we have potentially multiple rounds of heavy rain and severe weather next week, so that's something to keep an eye on. But now I'm going to pass things off to the closing desk with Genevieve and Ariana.
Yeah, thanks, Nico. Me and Ariana are here to close out your show.
Yes, I'm so excited. The dynamic duo back together.
The dynamic duo. Sadly, Evan, who we like to call ourselves the dream team, the three of us, he only gave us 1 minute and 30 seconds on this desk.
For all of this. 1 minute and 30? I mean,
crazy information. Now, in all seriousness, we do want to make sure that those of you in that line of storms for severe weather tonight are really staying prepared and staying weather aware. What are a few ways that they can stay weather aware?
you can stay weather aware by looking out for alerts that may come across your phone. I know we got one last night, but it was just a test, thankfully.
Just a test.
Yes, and always keep checking the radar or be near a weather radio.
Weather radio,
Yes.
that's what she's getting at. Absolutely. Keep your phones close. Keep your local stations close as well. Follow their Twitter if you are around those kinds of social media. And speaking of, follow us on Twitter. We will probably be retweeting all kinds of watches and warnings going on if severe weather does pop up. Facebook as well as FSU Weather.
Yep, you can watch us live on YouTube, which you're hopefully doing right now. And then you can send us those cool lightning pictures, sunrise, sunset pictures on the Instagram page.
And also, don't forget to follow us on TikTok at FSU Weather, where
Yes.
we are currently in the process of making an amazing TikTok. But let's finish out the show with Jason. One last look at the wall.
Thank you, Genevieve. So it's going to be a beautiful weekend. Maybe Saturday we're going to be seeing some early storms, but Sunday is going to be a beautiful day. And the next week it's going to be lots of stormy, just weather, but it's going to be a great day. Have a great evening, Tallahassee.